What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Aftersound here, bringing you Splinter Lens content every single day. We also stream right here on this channel every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday morning, so come by and say hello. All right, well, there's a lot of land hype, a lot of FOMO right now, especially for the mythic, especially for the mythic or legendary or magic occupy plots, whatever the case is. So I was running some numbers, and I just wanted to put maybe a little bit more of a sobering reality here into why I think some of these could be overvalued, or I believe people are overvaluing the returns on something like a keep, right? And I'm going to specifically focus on a keep because I've run the numbers for it, because I have one now, thankfully, and I wanted to see, well, what does that look like in terms of its value versus overall return? Would I buy one if I didn't have one right now, right? Just basic, just basic investing kind of analysis that I was doing. So there's a couple of assumptions that we're going to make, and that is, or the first of which is going to be the biggest one, and that is, like, let's say that the only resource that you could get was SPS. And the reason I say that is because, sure, there will be grain available, right? And there will be the Secret of Praetoria tokens or research tokens that you'll be able to earn as well, at least in land phase 1.5. Now, I don't believe the research tokens are going to have any financial value, at least not now. Maybe in the future they will, or you'll be able to redeem them for something, some cool stuff that the team is planning. But for the grain and for SPS, you will have some kind, there will be a little bit of a back and forth. They will have value. Now, I think that the market is going to find some kind of equilibrium. And if you want to, at the end of this, I'll run the numbers, we can double it to say, okay, well, maybe the output of grain is going to be equivalent to the output of SPS just because there's two resources there. So that's fine. But for the most part, I just want to look at this from a simple, straight, if SPS was the only thing that everybody went for because it had that value, what would it look like? Okay, so the second assumption we're going to make is that every land plot is going to be active and that it is egalitarian, meaning that we're going to do the law of averages here. So obviously different keeps, different tracks, different regions are going to have different things because people will have more PP, right? People will have more production points, or they'll have better monsters to work the land, or different totems, whatever the case is. I'm just looking at the law of averages here. So we're going to take that before we do that, you get the 6.25 million SPS that is given out per month, right? It's probably even below this now just because we started distributing it back in November or December, and it decreases by 1% per month. So we're just going to keep it at that. And let's divide it evenly between 150,000 plots. Let's say that all 150,000 plots are working their land. Now, obviously, I think there's 1,500 plots that are reserved for castles and keeps, but again, we're just doing rough numbers here, right? So 41.6 SPS per plot of land, per plot of land per month. So let's divide this by 30, and we'll just say roughly 1.38, 1.39 SPS being given out per plot per day. Now, there is a 10% tax. So let's multiply this by 0.1, of which keeps are eligible to receive 50% of that tax. Castles can only receive 20%, but castles have 10x the amount of plots that they tax rather than keeps, right? So keeps will take 50 or can take up to 50%. So let's assume that there's going to be some keeps there, or sorry, there's going to be some keeps there. Not all of them will be able to, so we'll actually have a lot burned. But again, we'll do 0.5. So now you're looking at 0.069 per plot in terms of taxes. Now a keep is an attract of 100 plots, so you can multiply this by 99. And this gives you 6.875 SPS that you are able to collect in taxes per day as a keep owner. Okay, so it's just 6.8 SPS. Now let's, SPS is under 3 cents now, but we're just gonna use nice easy numbers. So let's say 6.8 SPS. Multiply that, your value, right? So your dollar value per day as a keep owner from SPS would be roughly 20 cents. Now, like I said, If we want to include grain in this, let's say that the equilibrium is met and that grain is equivalent to SPS. I don't think that's going to be anywhere near the case, right? People need grain, but the market will find a way, right? The market will find that equilibrium. So let's just say grain is also included, and people split it up accordingly so that they're getting grain as well as SPS. So let's just multiply by 2, just because. All right, multiply it by 2 because there's another one. This assumes that nobody is getting anything from the research tokens for Secret of Pretoria. So now you're up to 41 cents per day in your keep, earning from all of the different tracks, assuming you have the max amount of PP to get all 50%. All of which is very difficult, but we're trying to be very, very conservative here. Well, now I'm on Peak Monsters, and we have here the cheapest the cheapest keep is currently selling for $4,200. So we can divide this by $4,200. That gets you your daily percentage rate. You multiply this, right, times 365, and you get a whopping 3.5% APR earnings on your keep if you were to buy one and start earning on a yearly basis. 3.5%. I think banks in the US are paying more than that right now. So again, that number was very sobering for me because it just made me realize, well, there's a lot. So let me put it this way. It's not necessarily that I want to say keeps are overvalued, but I do think that the amount of rewards people might be expecting could be overvalued. Again, I don't know. I'm not saying that there's going to be a hype cycle or that the hype cycle will end and we will see keep prices come down. All I'm saying is that if you're planning to go and buy one, this is what the numbers look like right now. They're not very encouraging. But if you want to own, here's the thing. Again, none of this is financial advice, right? If you want to own a keep just because you want to be the leader of a land, of a tract, go and do it. There's nothing wrong with that, right? This is a game at the end of the day. And for many people who are playing the game, the financial aspect does not concern them. It's more so wanting to be a keep owner, wanting to have that prefix title, yada, yada, yada. So I get it. That's totally cool. But 3.5% is the number that I've come up with. Now, let's say we hit some kind of bull run or a nice little rally over the summer or over the next couple of months once land is out. Maybe Bitcoin does its thing. We get to the Bitcoin halving. Let's say SPS pops up, right? Like from 3 cents to 30 cents. Again, we'd be up a 10x, but we'd still be down 70%. So you can just multiply this by 10, and now we're looking at like roughly 35% APR. Yet that's kind of what SPS is already paying out right now. If you were to stake SPS, you would get it in vouchers in SPS as well as the GLX airdrop. So again, we'd have to get a 10x roughly on the price of SPS in order to achieve the same kind of return as staking SPS. And let's not even get into liquidity pools because those are paying significantly higher right now, although they also have their own risks and different things that you need to look at. So, ultimately, when I was looking at this, I was just like, oh, well, maybe I do want to buy a second keep. That'd be kind of cool, even though I don't even have the monsters to work it. This is more just like a thought experiment or window shopping for me. But I was genuinely surprised at how low the returns would be if you were to buy in at this point and prices were to stay the same for a while. Now, obviously, we all expect or hope SPS goes up in value over the long term, right? The flywheel, the way the tokenomics are designed, we're all hoping that all of this DEC demand that's going to come in is going to come from people needing to buy SPS and burn it. But we don't know when that happens. And until it does, this is kind of where the APR is right now. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Like I said, I just want to share the numbers. This is not financial advice. Don't go spending your life savings on whatever. If you want to get a keep and you want to participate in land in that way, do it. I'm all for that. That's pretty cool. But at the end of the day, this is a game, so don't ape into something thinking that you're going to get some massive returns. We're not anywhere close to like bull run and dumb money just flying around. So that is all I have for you guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I will catch you all in the next video and see you around the game. Take care.